Hello and welcome to Rockingham for the Design911.com Porsche Championship. Mixed weather conditions here today with black clouds coming over the circuit and plenty of wind around. It's going to make life very interesting for race one as I hand you over to Richard.
Thanks, Lloyd. Here's how the championship table looks as we enter the halfway stage of the season. Dave Clark leads the championship from Alfred Piesinger, who leads the Porsche 924s. Jason Flegg second in that competition. Jerry Taylor is fourth. Then Stephen Brown and Rick Styrin completing the top six. Pole position to Dave Clark with Jerry Taylor alongside, Rick Styrin and John Bierman on row 2, brother David Bierman and Mike Seller on row 3, then Nick Hull and Guillaume Gruchet. Dave Hughes and Steve Boyles on the 5th row, Stephen Brown and Adam Croft on row 6, then it's Sean Siddle, Martin Braybrook, Mark Marshall and Andrew Hannington. Mark McAleer returning to the championship, Jason Flegg next to him, then Mark McKenzie and Martin Hall, Rebecca Jackson, Paul Bravo, Jeffrey Hansen, Anthony Mekvinsky, Stephen Potts and Alfred Piesinger, class leader at the back of the field with it all to do. Dave Clark, who has already proved he can win anytime, any place, anywhere, sports a new livery, brings the number 1 car into pole position once again. Jerry Taylor is on his outside with Rick Styrin and John Bierman on row 2. David Bierman makes a slow start from 5th place, but that gives us a great view of the stellar Mike Seller, who's off to challenge the front runners. A close start from the 924s shows how the wide open spaces of Rockingham can provide some spectacular action. 3 wide in places around turn 1 and down into Dean. Clark leads from Taylor with Mike Seller, but not for long as John Bierman makes his move as they go into Yentwood. Unusually for Rockingham, everybody through the first few corners safely, but the conditions are changeable around this long circuit. The first to find that out is Guillaume Gruchet, who suffers this spin at the S's. The battle for 3rd place continues. Mike Seller chasing Bierman onto the main straight and dropping below the white lines on the inside at turn 1 to get through. Bierman won't give up without a fight, however, and he's making Seller to work hard. Watch Seller's car have a momentary wobble as he exits the hairpin. Chase continues down the straight, and Bierman reclaims 3rd place as the cars exit the right-hander at Yentwood. Alfred Piesinger's promised to buy the burgers if he wins from the back of the grid in the 924s. And this is his onboard from the start. He's got some work to do, and he's straight on the case moving through the traffic. A small tap on his rear end from Mark Marshall catches Alfred's back bumper. Marshall has a half spin and he's onto the grass. In the boxsters, Mike Seller has now been caught by Rick Styrin, who makes his move at Yentwood. Meanwhile, a squeal of tyres tells us that Nick Hull is another driver to spin away. Rick Styrin's charge is absolutely unstoppable, and he passes John Bierman for a possible podium position, up into 3rd. The 924 racing is as entertaining as ever. Stephen Brown and Andrew Hannington here battling for 2nd place. Alfred Piesinger is making excellent progress and up to 5th, challenging Mark McAleer for 4th. The determination from the championship leader is evident. Look how close he gets to the notorious Rockingham wall. Clark still leads Taylor in the boxsters, and he just cannot shake him off at the moment. Meanwhile, there's a change for lead in the 924s. Look at this impressive move from Andrew Hannington from 3rd into 1st position. But the bigger picture shows us that all of the top 5 cars are in with a shout of the lead. At least that is until Alfred Piesinger gets caught out, rejoining the main straight. A spin for the championship leader, but he will rejoin in 5th position. The lead Boxsters are dealing with the back mark as well. They're still at it hammer and tongs too. As they come up to the Dean hairpin, it's time to lap the 924 leaders. And maybe a chance for Taylor to make his move. Taylor gets crossed up at the S's, but recovers to put a good run along the main straight. And that enables him to pass his teammate for the lead as they head into turn 1. John Beerman rotates, that's going to drop him down to 5th overall and in the Boxsters. Meanwhile, Clark wants the lead back and he's giving his teammate Taylor a very hard time as the pair wind their way round the circuit on the last lap. Taylor, though, soaks up the pressure and takes his first win in the class, with Clark close behind in 2nd position. But what about the 924s? That goes the way to Steve Brown, his 3rd successive win in the class. Andrew Hannington 2nd from Adam Croft in 3rd place. Former champion Mark McAleer crosses the line in 4th. Here's confirmation of the Porsche Boxster result. Jerry Taylor taking his first win with Dave Clark in 2nd. Rick Styring completes the podium in 3rd place. Then David Beerman heading home brother John, and Mike Seller in 6th position. On to the 924, Stephen Brown wins from Andrew Hannington. Adam Croft in 3rd position. Returning champion Mark McAleer in 4th from Alfred Piesinger, and Martin Hall comes home in 6th.
It was all about the weather, quite frankly, and I guess, you know, we're all looking out of the awning, looking up at the skies, looking where the wind's blowing, the wind kept changing. We're not quite sure where to go with it.
Well, we had a perfect setup for a wet race, and it dried really quickly by like 10 seconds a lap in 3 laps. So whilst we had a nice advantage to start with, Jerry certainly came through strong as it dried out, and he struggled to keep him behind.
The problem we had, on parts of the track it was very dry, and then some of the infield was just like ice. So the first couple of laps gauging how quick to go or not to go was virtually impossible.
Well, actually it was fantastic. I think you saw in qualifying I had a bit of a shunt, so I couldn't get really a time in. So I had to start right at the back, yeah. Right at the back. Got the Motors TV camera installed to get some action going, and it was really good. You know, I had a very good start, and I think in the first corner, I think it took 4 or 5 cars, and then I was up and running.
Jerry Taylor on pole position with Dave Clark alongside, then Rick Styron and David Beerman, John Beerman and Mike Seller row 3, then Steve Boyles and Nick Hull. Dave Hughes and Steve Brown row 5, then Andrew Hannington and Adam Croft, Mark McAleer and Alfred Piesinger, Guillaume Gruchet and Martin Hall on the 8th row, Jeffrey Hansen and Martin Braybrook on the 9th row, Mark Marshall and Sean Siddle on the 10th, Anthony McVinsky and Mark McKenzie, Paul Bravo, Stephen Potts and Rebecca Jackson complete the grid. Green flag from the back of the field here at the Rock, and the car's heading down into that daunting turn 1. Conditions slightly better. You can see cloud movement there down at turn 1. No sign of rain at the moment. Great start from everybody. David Beerman from 4th position. Looks like he is challenging Rick Styring. That's the silver-fronted car. Mike Seller again is stellar at the start and up into 4th position, challenging for 3rd around turn 1 in the yellow car, but side by side for the race lead. It's Jerry Taylor, Dave Clark on the outside in white. John Beerman coming up the inside as well. The red car with the black front on it. And around the Dean hairpin the first time. Now the significant thing here is that Clark has got the line down into Yentwood. Dave Clark takes the lead, oh, he's gone on the grass. Clark runs wide and through, back into lead position goes Jerry Taylor. So Jerry Taylor back into the lead. Dave Clark in 2nd position. Rick Styron in 3rd position. at the moment in the 99 car, so the positions as they pretty much as they finished the first race. Heading now down the a short straight into the Tarzan hairpin, named after one of the corners at the Zandvoort Grand Prix circuit, and then they'll go on the school straight, which is actually a slight climb up the school straight, and one of the few places you can't see from the main Rockingham building here because it's down behind the racing school building, and then through into the Brook S's, so the car's heading through there now. So Jerry Taylor leading as they come up towards the end of lap 1. Dave Clark looks up the inside. Slightly tighter line from Clark as they emerge back on the main oval. The purpose of Rockingham originally was built as a big oval circuit to stage American-style racing. And there's still some oval racing that goes on, although the big V8 cars no longer currently run, as Clark looks up the inside side-by-side around turn 1, down into the hairpin. And this is what we often see on the brakes. Oh, and Clark's out-braked himself there. That is a common thing you see going into Dean at Rockingham. Up into second place goes Rick Styrin. So Styrin's through. I think we've possibly lost John Bierman as well. So there is David Bierman, car number 87, putting pressure on the third place car, Dave Clark. How often is it we see Dave Clark in third? Not too often, I can tell you.